live on the air. I'm Richard Saile.
This is wild.
Hello, welcome back to another season of Loungetime. I'm your host, Rich Saile. We're back again for the 2024 season. Hope everybody enjoyed their off season. It's been a while since I've been back in the main studio, and I got somebody who didn't show up last year, but it's still his third time on here. Vin Esselum. Vinny, what's going on,
thanks for having me. What's going on?
What's going on, big guy?
Excited for Loungetime. Really excited. This is a long-anticipated episode. I know I dodged Rich a little bit, just a couple schedules, but now we're back. We're ready to go.
You know what's different, though, Vin? See, everybody, they're used to Uncle Al hosting.
Oh, my God.
The beginning of the new season. He's not here today. So I said, okay, who wants to get on so bad to open up? I said, who better to open for the first time but you?
Yeah.
So I figured, let's go with a new open. New guest to start things off. Vin, you're up first.
Uncle Al, no disrespect. Your Super Bowl picks are whack. I don't know what you're talking about. I remember Raiders and Rams or whatever it was.
Raiders Saints.
That was crazy.
The OG first one.
I'm sorry, Uncle Al, but I gotta put you in your place right there. The fans were like, what the hell was he saying when he said that out? But we're good to go now.
Well, we're going to have a very all-star lineup of cast for Loungetime. I will have people that we've had last year. I have two people that I'm in the works of putting down here. All right, we're going to work it all out, but I got two highly anticipated episodes coming out later this year. You guys do not want to miss, so stay with us for the 2024 season. We're going to have everything. Today, we're going to have our division winners. We're going to have our wild cards. We're going to have our AFC, NFC championship picks, our Super Bowl 59 matchups, and we're going to talk a little college football 25. How's that sound?
Yep, sounds really good. Yeah,
all right,
that game.
So, well, we'll wait on that to the end. So we're going to start things off with your division, the NFC East. You are a Washington Commanders fan. But I want to ask you, though, Vin, how do you feel like your team did this preseason when you sit back and look at the three games?
So I really like the pickup with Daniels. I think that's, without a doubt, the best thing that's happened this offseason. Trading Jahan Dotson, I don't know why we even did that. And we got some picks. I thought we were going to get Ayuk, but the news just broke literally an hour or two before this episode where he's re-signing with the 49ers. So I feel like that whole trade was just a waste of time.
Yeah.
I know we signed Noah Brown, had a couple good games last season. I mean, nothing that's really caught my eye. I had to look up highlights of him. That's how I didn't even know him. But apparently he's a good receiver. The one thing I'm just scared about is that how are you going to, get the most you can out of Jaden Daniels with a really crappy receiving core. The only receiving core we have is Terry McLaurin, and everybody else is just either no names or hasn't been proven yet. I mean, De'Ami Brown, everyone's saying that he was beating Dotson out in, training camp. Also Luke McCaffrey as well, too. But the thing is, I don't know. I got to see how it is. We have, I would say some of our schedule is hard. Some of it's a little bit easy for Daniels. Hopefully we can get some wins there. Starting quarterback, I know we had Marcus Mariota backup. Thank God he's not starting. And I don't know. I'm really trusting our GM. No Ron Rivera this time. No, what's his name? I forgot the GM's name already.
Martin Mayhew?
No, the old one.
But that was Martin Mayhew, right?
No, the GM.
Oh, you're thinking of Dan Snyder.
Yes. Oh my God. Yes.
The
See,
owner. The owner. Titles.
Owner.
Go ahead.
But I see whole new era. I just have to see how Dan Quinn is. I think he's a Ron Rivera 2.0 because he's very defensive minded coach. So we'll just see how it goes. But yeah, I think it was an okay preseason. It wasn't nothing crazy. It was okay. I just have to see how they do week one.
You perfectly led into my next question because part of the big focus was you get rid of Ron Rivera, you get rid of guys like Chase Young and Montez Sweat last year at midseason, right? And you bring in Cliff Kingsbury to help Jaden Daniels grow, and he's been very great with mobile quarterbacks going back to his time in college.
Yep.
He had Kyler Murray. And then you have, obviously, Adam Peters, the new general manager, who comes from John Lynch and San Francisco 49ers.
Yeah.
So the new regime, I know you have Josh Harris going into year 2 as the owner of the Commanders. Do you feel like there's a sense of optimism that this team is going to head in the right direction, gaining all that draft capital, with all the cap space you guys are making moves? Do you feel like the everything from the top up is trending upward?
I think so. I just have to see how Jaden Daniels picks out because we've invested so much into him, and I think that it's either we just got to see how he plays out. And if he plays out good, then it looks like it's going upward. But if it's down, it's literally just the whole recycling these quarterbacks that always come in. I think Washington, I saw something on Instagram where it was like Washington for week 1 has the most like different starting quarterbacks. I think we have 8 starting quarterbacks for each week in the last 8 years. So you could just tell there's no consistency in quarterback, and that's literally the one position we're lacking. So, I mean, I hope it's trending upward. I mean, everything around this kid we're surrounding him with is good. I mean, it's just, we just got to see how it plays out.
Right.
We just got to see how it plays out. That's it.
Dan Quinn obviously went to a Super Bowl with Atlanta. He's been known for a great defense with the Legion of Boom a decade ago. And then Adam Peters comes from building a great roster in San Francisco.
Yep.
So I think you have the good internal structure building. I just think now it's, can you get the draft capital to pay off, to be sustainable long term? The Eagles have questions. Dallas is in a very high pressure situation. The Giants are a train wreck. So there's upside. That's why I asked you about the upside.
Yeah.
If it's they're looking at the grand scheme of the NFC East.
I am predicting that we're either going to be in second and third. I would say third place.
That's fair.
I think we're going to be in third place this year. I think it's going to be Eagles, Cowboys, us, Giants.
Okay.
I think that's what I think it's going to be.
So you have the Eagles winning the East, Dallas in second. Yeah. You guys third, the Giants fourth. I have no issue with that.
No.
You know what? I'll make mine quick because everybody doesn't want to hear what I have to say. But I have the Eagles winning the East too. To make it short, Dallas, I have to see where I have the wild card stacked up. I might have them as a 6 or a 7 seed when we go through the NFC. But I'm with you. I think you guys are better than people think.
You think?
I do. Last place scheduled, the Giants. Daniel Jones looks horrible in preseason. Darren Waller retired. Dayball, I think, is going to get fired. Not his fault. Just Daniel Jones is not that good.
No.
That defense is good.
Defense is really good.
But they got Cam McCord on special teams. I'm not even worried. What can go wrong will go wrong. You love that saying. So I'm just sitting back. Verbal Louis, this is the first time the Giant fans haven't talked shit one offseason. So when I know they don't start talking shit, it's going to be great for me. That's why I'm not even worried. The ship's going to go crashing down. The train's going to hit a freaking wall. So let's round out the NFC. Let's move quickly into the NFC North. The Lions were 1 game away from the Super Bowl last season, right? They re-upped Jared Goff. They gave Amon-Ra St. Brown a huge extension.
Yeah.
Dan Campbell's ascending to becoming one of the top coaches in football right now. Green Bay Packers, Jordan Love, what a year, second half mainly, of last season. They're young, and they're getting better, and they just paid him $57 million a year, right? Minnesota, J.J. McCarthy gets hurt, done for the season. Now they're stuck with, I'm seeing ghost Sam Darnold. And then the Bears going with Caleb Williams, Rome Odunze, Keenan Allen. So they surrounding Caleb Williams with some proven receivers. Odunze, also the rookie from Washington. How do you think the NFC North is going to play out?
I have the Lions coming out of the NFC North.
Okay.
I know they have a really tough schedule this year. Yep. They were 1 game away from the Super Bowl. They made really good picks on the defensive side at this, draft, and also O-line. Mm-hmm. Also signing Goff to a huge deal, like you said before, too, as well, giving Amon-Ra the bag. I just think Vikings, I don't know how Sam Darnold's going to be with JJ or Justin Jefferson. I don't know how that team's going to be. I know they signed Aaron Jones as well, too, to their running back.
Right.
Defense is the number 1 priority with that team, and defense is garbage with the Vikings. Mm-hmm. Caleb Williams, I mean, he did really good in the preseason. He's balling out. I just don't know if that's going to carry over to the regular season for them to be in first place, to be Detroit Lions ready.
Right.
And then Packers, I think Packers are going to be right behind them. I think Packers are making that wild card spot easily.
So you got Green Bay as a wild card, and you got the Lions winning the North.
Yep.
All right. I want to disagree, but I just think, and this is a toss-up. See, I'm not mad if anybody takes Green Bay to win the North. I'm not mad if anybody takes Detroit. I would lean Detroit right now.
Yeah.
Because I feel like that.
It's a hard pick.
I got to see Jordan Love. I know the defense is getting better over there.
Yep.
I got to see Jordan Love another season. I know he looked really good. And they caught fire late last season, beating Dallas, almost beat San Francisco in San Francisco. Yeah. I just feel like I don't think Green Bay has the slight edge in talent to keep up with the Lions. I know they beat them in Detroit Thanksgiving last season. I think the Lions, though, if you're looking at the The 53-man roster. I think the Lions are slightly better. But again, Green Bay was hot last season, so I'm not mad if anybody takes it. I have Green Bay as a wild card myself. I think I have them easily as the 5 seed.
Oh, yeah, easily. 100%.
Easily as a 5 seed.
All right.
Let's move on to the NFC South right now, where we have the Atlanta Falcons, who had the surprise pick in the draft, Michael Penix Jr., but they also gave Kirk Cousins a ton of money.
Yeah.
Bijan Robinson's still there. They still have Kyle Pitts. They get rid of Arthur Smith for Raheem Morris as the head coach. Tampa Bay won in the division the last couple of seasons, right? Todd Bowles is still there. Baker Mayfield's still there. They had to get rid of a couple people with salary cap reasons the last couple of seasons. Carolina, year 2 with Bryce Young. In comes Dave Canales from Tampa Bay to the Carolina Panthers head coach. And then the Saints, they're old. They were 9-8 last season, but something just doesn't feel like they have it.
Something doesn't feel right at that team.
So, and then Atlanta just added Justin Simmons and Matthew Judon on defense.
Yeah.
So, who do you have winning the NFC South?
I still have the Buccaneers winning.
Okay.
I don't think signing Kirk Cousins was the best move for the Falcons, coming off an ACL tear and throwing him the bag. He has all the weapons he can to succeed, and we know if Kirk Cousins hot, he's doing really good.
Right.
It's just, I don't know. I still have the Bucs winning that division. I think like you said before, how that roster. I think the Bucs have the best roster, but the problem. I think it's another toss-up between the Lions, the Packers, Bucs, and Falcons. I still think the Bucs are going to win. I had the Falcons going into the wild card spot.
So you have somebody of the Cowboys and then another division up for grabs. Okay, I'm very curious.
But I think Saints are coming in third. Bryce Young's garbage. I think I don't think he's panning out really good, even though they might have a whole new regime with the head coach. They just signed Deontay Johnson. I know Adam Thielen. It's just, I don't think it's going to be enough to get them over the hump. I think they're going to be in the same spot they were last year. Mm-hmm. And I still think the Bucs are going to come out this year on top in the division.
This is the one I'm going to disagree with you a little bit. Again, I'm not mad at your take at all. I think Tampa Bay has a great shot to win the division. I'm going to take Atlanta, not because of Kirk Cousins. I think they're going to put Penix in mid-season.
You think so?
Like the Ravens did with Lamar Jackson and Joe Flacco.
Even after giving Kirk Cousins the bad?
Yeah, because I feel like, again, what if Kirk Cousins doesn't start out great?
Yeah.
We all know he's all right in the regular season, but what happens when you have to play the big boys?
I know.
He sucks. And you know this from Washington.
Yes,
you know this from Washington.
He can't win the big games.
Right. So I look at that and I say, okay, Michael Penix is younger. They're going to let him learn the system.
Yeah.
It's going to be like the Ravens with Lamar Jackson and Joe Flacco a couple of years ago, where Joe Flacco will start the year, but then if it starts to slip and they get to that tough schedule, I think Michael Penix starts to step in, and if he can build some momentum going into the playoffs, he might not be a bad option for them to start. And I think the Falcons will be like, all right, Kirk, we'll give you guaranteed money, but this kid's the future. And they know it because they spent the first-round pick on him, right? My question is, how are they going to use these offensive skill sets with Bijan Robinson, Kyle Pitts, Drake London? I forgot if they have another good receiver off the top of my head, but their offensive line is really good too in Atlanta. But my main concern with them is, and I know they just got Judon and Justin Simmons.
Their defense is looking solid.
They're improving. I just don't think they have that. Judon is a game wrecker when he plays well. I know towards the end of the New England seasons, he kind of faded out.
Yeah.
I'm just waiting for who that guy's going to be because Grady Jarrett in the middle is really good also.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for that guy that could just, they got the key on him. Mm-hmm. Judon might be that solution, but I don't know if it's enough for Atlanta. I'm going to say Atlanta wins maybe by a game or two in the division. I have Tampa coming in second, but they're not my wild card right now. I don't think they're good. They could be a wild card team. I won't pick them.
No, I don't think they'll be a wild card team if they don't.
But I'm going to respectfully disagree with you on the South.
All right.
I know we're flying by these divisions. Wow. I mean, I know this is a little surprising. All right, the NFC West. You have the 49ers coming off a heartbreaking Super Bowl loss. They've been great the last 5 seasons with 4 NFC Championship games in that span. The Rams, who a lot of people weren't sure.
Win. They always find us somehow to win.
And Aaron Donald's retired.
I know.
So that's a huge loss there. Seattle, Pete Carroll's gone. Mike McDonald comes in. They still got Geno Smith, Lockett, Smith and Jigba, DK Metcalf. Defense is all right, so Mike McDonald inherits Pete Carroll's team. And then the Arizona Cardinals, they got Marvin Harrison Jr., still kind of rebuilding. How do you see that division panning out?
I think 49ers are going to take that division easily again, I think.
Even with all the drama with Trent Williams and Ayuk now just signed 4 years at $120 million, by the way.
I think they have the best overall team in the league, best running back. I mean, we just got to see if Purdy is reliable, and he's been, proving that wrong. I don't know. We don't know if it's the system he's in or if Purdy's actually good. We just don't know. But whatever they're doing it right. Mm-hmm. And that's a tough division because we all know 49ers are coming out on top. Mm-hmm. It's those three other teams. It's Seahawks, is it the Rams, or is it the Cardinals? And Kyler Murray's coming back. They just got Marvin Harrison. James Conner running back as well, too. I think it goes 49ers, Rams. This might shock you. Cardinals, Seahawks.
I'm not mad at that, actually.
I think Cardinals are going to take that step above and finish the third.
They have a better unit. I just don't know how Jonathan Gannon is as a coach.
That's the thing. I don't know how he is as a coach.
I feel like I can't judge him because of one bad season. They were in a rebuild mode.
They were in a rebuild mode, for sure.
It wouldn't shock me because they are playing the last place schedule. Seattle's in the third place schedule, I think, if memory serves correct. I would take the Niners. I almost wanted to take the Rams to win the division. I almost did.
Without Donald?
Because I'm not going to take the Rams to win the division. I'm going to take the Niners. I almost did. If Aaron Donald had not retired, I would have took the Rams easily. I would have took the Rams easily. Niners got too much distractions. Trent Williams holding out. Best left tackle in football, arguably. Ayuk with the whole drama, now that's settled. That's good. Right? They were trying to get rid of Deebo Samuel.
They were.
Christian McCaffrey, who I love as a running back. Top fantasy player right now going into this season. He can be injury prone.
He can.
Brock Purdy is a good quarterback in this league. But Shanahan has not won a big game.
No,
that's the thing. I like him. Shanahan. He's turned into the Andy Reid of like the head coaches right now. He really has, and he's due to win one, but their window might be closing.
Yeah.
So I'll take the Niners to win the West. I won't give up on them yet. I'm gonna take the Rams to make the wild card.
Okay.
I think the Rams, they could score. Sean McVay finds ways to win games, as you alluded to earlier.
They always find a way to win.
I think they are going to score. Stafford's a good quarterback in the playoffs. I'm not worried about them. The defense is worrisome.
Yes.
That's what worries me. Jalen Ramsey's been gone. Donald retired. Chop Robinson from Penn State, the rookie, I like.
Yeah.
But he's not a game wrecker like Aaron Donald. It's different when you have 99 in the middle where he's going to disrupt your whole game plan. I don't know if they've got anybody to do that. Ernest Jones just got traded to the Titans. So I'm going to take the Rams to still make a wild card. So when we look at the NFC, I'm looking at the top seed, and I'm thinking it's going to be Niners had it last year. The year before it was the Eagles. No.
You don't think Niners are going back-to-back number one seed?
I don't think they're going to be the number one seed.
Wow.
I think it's going to be, you ready for the shocker?
Let's hear it.
The Detroit Lions will be the one seed.
I like that pick.
Because they could score. Their defense is going to get better. The Eagles, Bradbury's out 6 to 8 weeks. So
I don't know how Bradbury's still employed. He's the worst corner in the league.
But I still have questions with their defense. The Eagles, Fletcher Cox is gone. Jason Kelsey's gone at offensive line. Jalen Hurts. Now they have Kellen Moore and they have Nick Fangio calling plays both sides of the ball. So new coordinators. I'm a little curious to see how that goes.
See how Saquon pans out. That's it.
I'm going to take the Eagles as a 3 seed. I got the Niners as the 2nd seed. And I think Atlanta's the 4 seed. Okay. Now the wild cards, I have Green Bay at 5. So I have Green Bay going to Atlanta. I think Green Bay beats Atlanta. I have in the 6th spot, I've got the Rams going to San Francisco. And Kyle Shanahan, for the most part, owns Sean McVay. That game will be closer than the experts say. I could see the Rams pulling off an upset, but I'm not going to go that far. I'll take the Niners in the wild card there. And then, oh no, wait. I said the Eagles. So now the Eagles-Rams.
That's a hard game.
Yeah, because I mixed it up.
They mixed it up.
Eagles-Rams. I'm going to go bull. I'm going to go the Rams beating the Eagles.
Wow, okay.
Because I have serious questions about that defense, and I think Sean McVay can attack that defense.
All right.
So Rams beat the Eagles. That's an upset in the wild card. And then the Niners, Cowboys again. And I think, once again, the Niners have owned Dallas. I've yet to see Dak Prescott win a big game. I'll take Dallas as my last wild card over teams like the Bears. Even a team like, I know people say Seattle up there, Tampa. I just think Dallas has a good team just to get into a wild card. They're done with Mike McCarthy.
I have
Jerry's
Cowboys,
done with Dak and Mike McCarthy. This is
their year.
They have to do it. But
I don't think it's gonna happen.
no, I'm gonna take the Niners to beat the Cowboys. So then I have in the divisional round, I've got the Niners hosting the Rams. Now that's when the Niners beat the Rams.
Yeah.
That'll be closer than the experts say. The Lions get to play Green Bay. And the winner of that game, I think, gets to the Super Bowl.
That would be a great game to watch.
Yeah. I think the winner of that game gets to the Super Bowl because I just think the Niners, just something goes wrong. If Campbell can stop going for it every fourth down when you have a lead.
He blew that game against he blew that game.
If he doesn't go for it, then I would say differently. I think Jordan Love beats the Lions.
Wow.
Because
I had the Lions beating the Packers in that scenario.
See, I'm not mad at that. I just think Jordan Love, they were so close to beating them. This offseason is exactly what he needed. The only thing I'm a little worried about is I'm banking on Jordan Love, who's really played one full season.
He has.
Can he do it again?
He's
got a lot of the really good stuff that you like and want in a young quarterback. Now you got the money. Okay, you got to go win it now.
Yeah.
But I'm going to take Green Bay to make it out of the NFC. It's a little bold. I could see again. If you're gonna say to me, it's Green Bay, it's the Eagles, it's the Lions, it's the 49ers. I'll even throw the Rams in there. If you want to say it's any one of those 5 teams, I've got no issues with that whatsoever. No issues. Anybody below them, I don't see it.
Okay.
But any one of those 5, I'm not going to make an argument. But I'm going to take the Packers to come out of the NFC.
I have the Lions coming out of the NFC.
Okay. Yeah, so I had Packers against the Niners in Frisco.
I think Kyle Shanahan, he's going to lose the big game again, I think.
Yeah, I can't trust him. He has to win the big game. Their window might have closed. And all the distractions, it's just going to add up.
So you have the Packers, I have the Lions coming out. Let's see AFC now.
Yeah. All right, so let's go into the AFC. Let's start with the AFC East. Now, to me, this division, they're another one. 3 teams have a legit chance of winning. I'm not even counting my Patriots. We suck. We suck. But I hope the only thing I got that's my saving grace is Drake May.
Yes.
Hopefully he plays well. I just want to see him.
And he was doing good in the preseason.
He was. Brissett starting. I'm fine with that.
Yes, that's a good choice.
No issue with that. We ain't doing shit though, regardless. Miami, they gave Tua the bag. Thank you. He's not that good. All these people on Twitter giving me the clown emojis on Twitter, gifs. Yeah, well, he's overrated. Name the big game he's won. I'll wait. Okay? They have no defense. Okay? Javon Holland's their only big name in the secondary outside of Jalen Ramsey. Christian Wilkins gone to the Raiders. Xavier Howard they cut. Right? Bradley Chubb injury prone. Jalen Phillips injury prone. But they could score Miami.
They can.
The Jets, who I think are the most scrutinized team, they're going to be judged under a microscope this year because Aaron Rodgers. See,
I think it's for the Jets. I think people are saying like it's like conference or bust basically. Like they have a lot of heat right now.
Yeah, they're going to be judged under a microscope. They're going to be the most scrutinized team by the national media this whole year. They
100%.
are. And it's not just because it's the New York media market. It's Aaron Rodgers coming off 4 snaps, an Achilles injury. He's 40 years old. What people don't understand is Tom Brady was the rare exception of quarterbacks playing well past 40. You can think of all the guys. Peyton Manning fell off at 39.
Yep.
Drew Brees couldn't even throw past 20 yards. Okay? You know, Kurt Warner didn't make it to his 40s. All right?
Did Cam Newton make it? No, Cam Newton didn't.
No. Warren Moon did not.
He couldn't pass more than 20 yards, Cam Newton.
No, he couldn't. He was broken down. That was hard to watch.
Yeah.
Warren Moon didn't really play. He was a backup mostly in his 40s. My point, Brett Favre had one good year, and then injuries beat up his body. Yeah. He had to retire. My point is, Brady's the rare exception of quarterbacks playing well past 40.
Yeah.
We can't expect Aaron Rodgers to do that. I know he's coming off an injury. Yes, he's the talent. We know he can protect himself, but you're asking
a lot for a 40-year-old quarterback.
Right, to be, the savior. But again, you're coming off an Achilles injury, and not many quarterbacks play well past 40. Plus being the most scrutinized team this entire season and judged under a microscope, I don't know if I can trust you. Which leads me to the Bills, who, Matt Milano, hurt again. Their secondary has to be revamped, right?
Losing Diggs.
I was just about to say that. Keon Coleman comes in, right? But Josh Allen still finds a way to get that team into the playoffs. Who do you have winning the AFC East when looking at all those question marks?
I have the Dolphins. I think their high-powered offense is going to win them games. I think it's going to be a shootout every game. Like you said, the defense has a lot of holes in it. I just think that they're going to put up more points than you, and they're going to win just like that.
Okay. All right. I got major questions with their defense.
I have here's my rankings. I have
Go.
Dolphins, Bills,
Okay.
and I think Josh Allen is an early season contender for the MVP if he does good, because there's no one else on that team.
Right.
I have Dolphins, Bills, Jets, you guys.
That's fine. I have no issue with that. I'm going to make this a little interesting. I'm going to take the Bills to win the East because I think if you were to tell me who am I most comfortable in, I'm more comfortable with Buffalo.
Yeah.
Because I feel like they'll find a way. Now,
And that's the one thing about what it was making me hard, like picking between Bills or Dolphins.
I'm gonna pretend I just didn't.
Pause. It's literally it's like, who do you trust more? And
Right.
I trust Josh Allen more than Tua. Tua can't win the big game.
No, and I'm going to stick by that, and I'll go down if it happens. I'm very confident in my chances to see that Tua just will crumble once again in the big game. And everybody's saying, "Oh, I'm a Tua hater." Go back and look at the games. The real eye test will show you.
Yeah.
Okay, he had a below-average receiving core his first couple years, still couldn't win it. Even with Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle the last 2 seasons, he couldn't beat good teams. That's it. So I'm going to go Buffalo. Give me the Jets over Miami.
Okay.
Miami's third. My team's fourth.
All
I
right.
mean, the only hope I have is we pull Texans from last year, but
Yeah,
I
was gonna say.
don't see that with how bad our offensive line is. I know we
Okay.
picked up some high people in the preseason grades. When you're going against the starters, huge different.
Yeah.
Those grades might be lower. AFC North. This division is all 4 teams are great in this division. You've got the Ravens coming back with Lamar Jackson, 2-time league MVP, but he's coming off a terrible postseason game against Kansas City at home.
Oh
in the
my
playoffs.
God, that was it. Remember watching that game? Oh my
Yeah.
God.
The Bengals, Joe Burrow, who have been to 2 AFC Championship games prior to last season, he's coming off an injury with I believe it's his shoulder.
Yeah.
Something like that, right? Jamar Chase is waiting on his contract extension. T. Higgins, franchise tag. They're having trouble keeping those 2 guys. Joe Mixon's gone. And instead they bring in Zach Moss, who's not a bad running back, but he's not Joe Mixon.
He's not Joe Mixon.
Their offensive line they've been addressing. Their defense, I think, is sneaky good every year. And I'm being honest about that. I think Lou Anarumo should have a head coaching job very soon. The Browns, who had the top defense in the league last year. Myles Garrett, Defensive Player of the Year candidate 2 years ago. Right now, Deshaun Watson is the question mark because we don't know how he's going to play before he had to sit out the second half of last season. And then you got the Steelers with Russell Wilson, Justin Fields.
And they just made Wilson the starting quarterback.
Right, and their offensive line is another one really, really bad.
Yeah.
And Mike Tomlin's on the verge of possibly his first losing season as the Steelers head coach. How do you see that division panning out?
I got Ravens,
Okay.
Bengals, Browns, Steelers.
No issue with that whatsoever. Joey might be mad.
That's why I hesitated. So like,
Joey might be mad. Joey might be mad. But you got Arthur
You
Smith.
gotta be realistic.
You got Arthur Smith. Russell Wilson's not the same. And have you seen the second half of the Steelers schedule?
Dude, that's what I was
Find me a game they win easily in the second half of the season. I told them, I'm like, do you see your second half schedule?
But I was going to say, I have Bengals making the wild card.
Okay. All right. That I have no issue with.
What about you?
I took the Bengals the last 2 years to win the North. Knowing that Joe Burrow could get hurt.
And he got hurt last year.
Did.
I'm not sticking with your guns again? Or are you going to go different?
Somehow Baltimore always finds a way to make the playoffs.
They do.
So,
and they just added Derrick Henry as well.
They're going to still find a way to make the playoffs. So I don't like this team. I've never been a fan of this team. I think they're going to win the North by a game or 2. Give me Cincinnati to make a wild card.
Yes.
Because I think they're good enough if they're healthy. But again,
you just got to see how everything's going to pan out.
the AFC has teams that are going to be wild card contending within the last 2 to 3 weeks.
Oh, yeah.
You can book that. Ravens win the division. I got the Bengals as a wild card.
And I think the AFC has way better teams than the NFC.
Oh, yeah.
I think the competition is way more tougher. And
Yep.
I think overall talent-wise, I think there's more talent on the AFC.
Yes. So when we look at the AFC South, this is another one where the young quarterbacks are going to take over this division.
Yeah.
the Texans, C.J. Stroud. What a turnaround they had last season.
Crazy.
And on top of that, you get him Stephon Diggs. Tank Dell comes back.
Joe Mixon
to help their running game. You got...
And their defense is already solid as it is.
Will Anderson, Defensive Rookie of the Year, to go with Danielle Hunter, who they signed from the Vikings. I love that pickup there.
I always forget about that pickup.
Yeah. And Derek Stingley's been looking good as the corner, right? The Jaguars had the division lead for 3/4 of that season.
They choked.
And they blew it. I have questions about their defense. ETN.
I know you're a Trevor Lawrence fan.
I like him. I do. I'm Doug Peterson, I feel like, abandons the run and just relies too much on him. The Colts, Shane Steichen, who has Anthony Richardson now in year 2. He did a good job with Jalen Hurts in year 2 as the starter. Will he translate that magic there? And they were 1 game away from making a wild card. And the Titans, who a lot of people think are going to be bad, they have Calvin Ridley. They've got some nice veterans. Jamal Adams is up there. I know he's not the same.
They got D-Hop.
D-Hop. There's one more receiver. Tyler Boyd.
And they have Tony Pollard they just signed.
Tony Pollard, yeah. And they just got Ernest Jones, the linebacker from the Rams.
Yeah.
So that division, and they got Will Levis still.
That probably might be the most tight, like the closest division, I think.
I wouldn't be surprised by that. So who do you have winning that division?
I have Texans, obviously.
Okay.
Texans, Colts, Jags, Titans.
Texans, Colts, Jags, Titans. No issues again. 0.
And I'm thinking if the Colts make the wild card or not. I'm thinking about it right now.
You got time. We got one more division, which I know you're probably going to hate who we're talking about next. I hate them too, don't worry. I'm taking the Texans to win the South. I am. I think this team has the best chance to take down the next team we're about to talk about. And me and you both don't like them. And I'm telling you guys right now.
That team is Thanos, and the Texans are the Avengers.
I think they're one of the best teams to take them down. I really do. I'm going to take the Texans to win the South. My second wild card is the Indianapolis Colts. I think Shane Steichen, getting Anthony Richardson back, banking on him being healthy, not confident about that, but Adonai Mitchell to go with Jonathan Taylor, who I think is going to have a monster season.
You think so?
I think they're going to run.
He was quiet last year. I mean, he was hurt.
They're going to run the ball with Taylor and Richardson. I think that read option stuff is going to be really, really
crazy.
Interesting. Right? Quarterback runs designed for Anthony Richardson. He looks like Cam Newton out there.
He does.
But a bigger arm. But again, he's a young quarterback with a lot of inexperience. Steichen did good with Jalen Hurts. I think he was with the Chargers with Phillip Rivers a little bit.
I thought he was too.
Yeah. So, again, I feel like that this is a team that's on the rise.
Oh, yeah. 100%.
And their defense is good. It's not great.
It's good enough to get by.
Right. Gus Bradley is a good coordinator. He runs one coverage, cover 3.
That's all he runs.
But it's a Seattle days. I mean, but again, that team is going to have to play much better, like in the little stretch. But I like their schedule, honestly, I do. So I got the Colts as a wild card.
I'm going to agree with you. I'm going Colts wild card as well. I'm thinking about the other division. I don't see anybody coming out.
To the final division, where the Super Bowl champs are from. The Chief bandwagons have won back-to-back on the quest for a three-peat.
They're on a high right now. When was the last three-peat?
There's never been a three-peat.
Unless
you want to count, unless you want to count World Championship games with the Lombardi Packers.
Ain't nobody got time for... We're done with the 90s, bro. We're done with the 90s.
No, that wasn't even the 90s. That was the sick...
It's a metaphor. We're done with the 90s. Move on.
But the Chargers have Jim Harbaugh.
Yeah.
That comes in from Michigan after winning a national title there. He's got Justin Herbert there. Had a good draft, I thought. Really a really good draft.
The only problem with that team is I don't see anybody on offense that's like wowing me right now.
That was I was going to say.
There's nobody.
And then just to quickly round up the division before I let you go. Denver has Bo Nix starting. They had to get rid of Russell Wilson with all that cap space. So they're getting rid of a lot of veterans. And then the Raiders are stuck between Gardner Minshew and Aiden O'Connell, but they get Brock Bowers to complement Devontae Adams, to complement Michael Mayer at tight end. Their defense is Max Crosby, who I would say is a sneaky defensive player of the year candidate. I think we're in agreement the Chiefs are going to win the division, but does anybody in that division have a chance to not just sneak up on people, but could squeak in and fight for a wild card spot?
I have Chiefs, Raiders, Chargers, Broncos.
So you got the Raiders again in second.
Yep.
I like Antonio Pierce. They have never built a secondary. They cannot hit on that quarterback position for any bit of time.
They're like our team. They're literally like our. They're like
No,
the
no.
Commanders.
You ready? And I got Cowboy fans watching this. So listen to what I'm about to say, Cowboy fans. Cousin Nicky, my dad, my Uncle Al. Listen carefully.
You guys are all catching strays.
No, and Cousin Frankie's a Cowboy fan, but my point is that they all know that they're fans of the show. I get it, but I got to be honest with them. You guys are the Oakland Las Vegas Raiders of the NFC. And the Raiders are the same way. The Raiders are the Cowboys of the AFC.
Yes.
They are addicted to star power. They are addicted to big name people, but refuse to build a culture. They refuse to build a winning culture. That's why they haven't done shit since the 80s and the 90s. Be honest. You all know it's true. So I'm telling you, I'm a real one telling you this. I told you after you lost to Green Bay, the Cowboy fans, the Raiders, you guys are the Raiders of the NFC. That's why Jerry Jones is not going to win another Super Bowl.
That's why we're done with the 90s.
But I have the Chiefs winning. I think the Chargers come in second.
Okay.
I got Denver third, and I got the Raiders fourth.
Wow, really? Okay.
The Raiders just don't improve.
That
I like
division
Pierce, I do. But what have they done? They've done nothing.
That division is who sucks more.
Yes.
It's basically who sucks more.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
All right, so let's recap the division winners. We have Kansas City winning the West.
Yes.
The Texans winning the South.
Yes.
The Ravens winning the North.
Yes.
And we split on the AFC East. You got Miami, I got Buffalo.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, the wild cards. I have the Jets.
Yep, I do.
I have the Bengals.
Yep.
And I have the Colts.
Yep.
Who's your wild card?
Same exact.
Okay. So you have the Bills in third.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So the 1 seed.
I messed up. Yes, I have the Bills in third place. I just remember I put them in second place. I'm pushing them back to third.
Okay.
That's my mistake.
Okay. No, I just want to make sure we go over this right.
Yeah.
The 1 seed, Baltimore had it last year, but I feel like somehow, some way, the Chiefs are going to get the 1 seed.
Yep. They always do. They're like Thanos, dude. They're like Thanos.
So the 2 seed, I'm actually going to go with the Texans to make the 2 seed over the Ravens. Ravens will be 3. And then I
can see that.
And then I have the Bills at 4. So the Bills would play, and I'm thinking of the highest wild card now, out of the Jets, the Colts, and the Bengals. I think do I think the Colts could be the highest wild card? No, give me the Jets to play Buffalo. And I think, you ready?
You think the Jets are upsetting Buffalo? Really?
It pains me to say, but yes.
Wow.
It does.
Okay.
I think the Bills have serious question marks. The Jets have defense, running game to travel on the road. The Jets beat the Bills in the wild card. I have the Bengals as the 6th seed going to Baltimore, but I don't think they can get by Baltimore.
You think? Okay.
I don't. I think if Burrow can stay healthy, they have a
could see
chance.
this happening. Yeah.
But the Ravens, I think, can beat the Bengals at home. And then the Colts-Texans, I think it's going to be a good game, but I think the Texans pull away. So I have the Texans playing the Ravens this time in Houston in the divisional round. And I've got
who's coming out of the AFC?
And I got the Jets going to Kansas City. Now, my buddy, Yoham, I'm trying to get you on. We're working out the day you're coming on Loungetime. I know you're rooting for the Jets. I just don't think the Jets can beat Kansas City.
No.
I don't. I have Kansas City beating the Jets painfully. And I'm not a Jet fan saying this. I'm a Patriot fan saying this. So, Jet fans, you better be nice to me, okay? I know that's hard for you guys to do because you hate New England. I have the Texans beating the Ravens. I think the Texans, the pieces they have, I think they can study Lamar Jackson again.
So it's their year, the Texans.
And you ready for this?
They win the Super Bowl, Texans?
Over
Lions?
I don't know if I'm going to say
Packers?
I don't know if I'm going to say they're going to win the Super Bowl, but they got a great shot. They take the mighty Thanos down.
Yes.
You bandwagons.
Yes.
I am celebrating this year.
You've all ruined the game.
You have ruined my offseason 2 years in a row. You will not win it for 3 years in a row. I am bringing out the celebratory gear. You do not want to miss that. I don't care if I'm on the road doing it. I am not having my offseason be ruined. This man has ruined my offseason 2 years in a row. You bandwagons have become a nauseating headache. And you, Taylor Swiftie, oh my God. I have had enough of you people. I have had enough. No one cares that you're at the game, okay? You'll back me up.
Yes.
I can't stand it. She doesn't even know football and she's at the game. The only reason she's there is because Travis Kelce's her freaking boyfriend. We all get that. I don't care, okay? I don't care. She doesn't know football. So guess what? You The Swifties, you all go down. C.J. Stroud is up next. Texans, Packers, in the Super Bowl. Who do you got in the Super Bowl?
So for me, it would be, I think Ravens are coming out.
Wow, you think you're going to trust Lamar?
Yeah. I think Lamar's finally, third time's a charm, Rich. I think Lamar's finally going to get out of the AFC.
Okay.
I have a team. This was my prediction last year. I said Ravens and Lions.
Okay, and who do you have winning it all?
I think if Dan Campbell doesn't do stupid doesn't try to go for a fourth down,
okay,
I think Lions are coming out.
I'm not mad at your pick. I don't trust Lamar Jackson to win a big game.
I think this year, with the pieces he has around him, with Derrick Henry, if he's not hurt, because I know Derrick Henry is injury prone, but he also can give you a 1,000-yard season.
Right, yes.
Easily.
Yeah.
I think Ravens finally get over the big game hump.
I just need to know if Lamar Jackson is going to win a game throwing the football. Because he can't win the game throwing the football. You contain
We saw that last playoffs.
You contain him in the pocket.
He's useless.
You contain him in the pocket and try to beat him with his arm. He can't win.
But
Until he does that, I need to see it. That defense did everything that you possibly could against them.
Oh my gosh, yes.
You held Mahomes and them to 17. I would have been like, what?
And they still lost.
And you know what? Because it was him. He sold it. I can't trust Lamar Jackson anymore. So I'm done. I'm trusting the team, C.J. Stroud.
C.J. Stroud going all the way?
C.J. Stroud to play the Packers in Super Bowl 59. And again, the Texans, see, you root for this team because they haven't won a Super Bowl. They were god-awful the year before, right? And it comes full circle if they win, right? Jordan Love, obviously, trying to continue that lineage of Favre, Rodgers, right? To now he has a chance now to win a Super Bowl.
It's a lot of asking for.
It is. You know what? I might get laughed at. I don't care. Okay, I don't make worse Super Bowl predictions like my Uncle Al.
Uncle Al's prediction was probably the worst.
I'm going with the Texans to beat the Packers. Okay. I think that this is... I love the offseason additions. D'Amico Ryans is a coach. I think he's done really well. Give me the Texans to beat the Green Bay Packers in Super Bowl 59. I'm going bold. You can laugh at my pick. You got to go back and see my Uncle Al's predictions. They were way worse. Way worse. I'm backing it up. Uncle Al, you know how to reach you. Yeah, they were worse. Raiders Saints from 3 years ago was horrible. Absolutely horrible. This is not worse. And if you say it is, you know how to hit me up. So
you know where to find them?
Yeah.
All right, yeah, so I think we both I like both of our picks. I think they're pretty reasonable.
Yeah.
It's just
All right.
I think the one disagreement we had is you had the Packers making it, I had the Lions making it.
Yeah, and then outside of a few division winners.
Division winners, and then you had Texans coming out, I have Ravens coming out. We'll see how it goes. We'll see.
Now I want to change the conversation a little bit because you and I, last time I had you on, we talked a little bit about the old Madden days, right?
Yes.
But we're not going to do this today because we've both been following that game. Instead, I'm actually going to throw a little curveball. College Football 25 has been out about a month now. Now, we never talked about it on this show because, again, I wanted to wait and see how the game was before I brought this up. Now, I've played a month with my buddy here. We got an online dynasty league we're doing, okay? We got some people watching from that online dynasty league. I can't lie to you, Vin. I'm getting a mix between the old Madden vibes from the Madden 15-16 glory days.
Okay.
For those people that know that played Ultimate Team, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Probably the best time, the golden era.
The golden era, yes. But I still got a little mix of the new school era with a couple things. I mean, with the solo battles, and now they call it cut. The solo battles in the field pass. I'm not saying the objectives are hard. I'm not mad about that. Solo battles, don't just get rid of that stuff. The dailies, you can't get rid of those, really. But there's a game changer mode that has separated college football immensely from Madden Dynasty.
Yes.
So I want to ask you, Vin, you've played it for a month now. What are your original thoughts on how college football has been for you? What's your experience like now that you've played it for about a month now?
I like it. I just think that some of the things in college football need to be improved on. Number one, pursuit angles.
Yes.
Some of the pursuit angles on defense, you have guys that are missing wide open tackles getting outsorted. If you have the right skills and abilities, you could easily just basically run around everybody and no one can make a quick dive whatsoever. Mm-hmm. I think O-line, there is no O-line in this game
Yes.
at all.
Yes.
You can literally have, pocket disruptor and quick jump, and you're set.
Yep.
O-line is non-existent in this game. You have maybe 2 seconds to throw off. Have fun running a play-action play, because by the time you hand it off, if you don't have your guy play action like 99 or something, or he's quick, it's a sack. And then I think it's the catching. It's the re-in passing. I mean, I like it. It's just sometimes when you pass it, a lot of my guys are dropping wide open passes that are like green or perfect. Literally, you could be running a cross route, and the guy's hand drops it.
I would agree with a couple of the things. I would agree with most of the things you said. Mm-hmm. I just want to take it a little bit of a step further. See, the passing meter.
It's something new.
It is. I'm not a fan of it because every time I use it, it's either yellow, and I got a few greens, but I also got a couple reds where I'm like, really?
Yeah.
Like, I get it. Guys miss throws all the time. I understand that. But it doesn't feel consistent. The only time I've ever gotten a perfect light blue is if it's thrown to pressure. That's the only time I've ever seen. I've seen people that have it on perfect when they throw like an easy check down. I don't know how the hell they do it. I'm still trying to figure that out. Okay? And I switched over to revamp for placement and accuracy, right, where I'm still waiting to see if that's going to change. And I'm still seeing greens, which is good. A little more likely, but still, in the yellow, still in the red, where I'm like, come on. Even, I think, do they have orange? I think they have a little orange.
There's orange.
Okay. See, that's where I just, I wish it was more consistent. I just don't like it the past year. I'm just not a big fan of it. The second thing that I'm triggered by, the fucking quarterback closeout speeds. I swear to God, I don't know what ability it is. I don't know if it's blanket coverage. I don't know if I don't think it's jammer. There's one where it's good man coverage ability. I was just listening to it this morning.
You could just tell if you throw a streak or a route. The cornerbacks, that if you're a receiver and you catch it, immediately like a speed boost out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And you get tackled or you get hit out of bounds, or you just get hit and disrupts.
Yeah.
I agree with you on that.
That closeout speed, if it's on gold or like platinum now,
yeah, it's done.
GG's. Like, you can't even throw that side. It's like I'm playing against Deion Sanders out there.
Yeah.
And, like, again, not every cornerback should have gold or Hall of Fame on that. That's insanity. Okay? And it's just like, bro, it makes it literally you're erasing one guy off the field. You're playing 11 on 11. No, 10 on 10. Which, if they have two, you're just going to have to run. And then, all right, you're playing like Army Navy all the time.
Yeah.
So I think the cornerback closeout speed is absolutely ridiculous. I was talking to somebody else about it, and they even agree with it too, right? The pursuit angles, I 100% agree. The O-line blocking, I agree. The wide receiver catching, I don't have that issue. I mean, if you're going based off like the passing meter stuff, yeah,
it might be the passing meter affecting the ball. I have no idea.
Yeah, yeah.
But all I know is that sometimes my receivers or tight ends are wide open, and I throw it, they just drop it immediately.
Yeah. So, I mean, and I'm looking at like college football 25. I think to me it's way more enjoyable. I think gameplay trumps Madden by long shots. Okay, I'm on record right now. If you're playing Madden, I don't know how the hell you're doing it because you just don't get it. Now, these people that want to say on Twitter and all that stuff, oh, this is a way better Madden than what are you really?
You're getting paid, bro.
You're getting paid by EA to say that. Yeah. Like that's not your actual opinion. There's no way it is. Okay. The average fan knows that game has made no improvements. So I'm on record saying this. This is going to be their worst year of sales ever.
I think so.
I hope it is. I really hope it is.
When was the last time Madden made a good game? When was the last good Madden? For me, I think it was Madden 20. I think Madden 20 was that was the most enjoyable Madden I had with Madden 20.
I did not have a problem with Madden 20. As much as people have had an issue with it, with the freight train Dickerson and stuff. See,
99 Moss.
That I had once in a while. That was a little annoying.
I like that though.
Yeah.
What was your last most enjoyable Madden that you could say this was a good Madden, and it went downhill from there?
16.
Okay.
Because I remember 16, and this is how old I am. Okay. About 10 years ago, right? I was playing high school ball. I was playing high school football. We both went to Manalapan High School. Okay. I remember people like literally talking about Madden 16, how great it was. That was the year Draft Champions got introduced. You remember Draft Champions, okay?
Yeah.
That's when they didn't force you to microtransaction buy, okay? This is when, the OGs know this, what I'm about to say. This is when they had the Journey.
Yes.
This is when they had Gauntlet. This is when they had, like, teams that were even, okay? It was one or two things when you played online. You lost fair and square, your team wasn't better, or you had to get your skills better. That's how it was supposed to be. Since that point, just be careful with that. Since that point, they have completely went downhill. Because it started, ready, when they got rid of head-to-head seasons, and then you want to bring it back, change the algorithm to where they make you go, oh, yeah, I'm going to roll 3-4 game winning streak. Look at me. I've had it happen before. I was on a 7-game winning streak. You know what happened to me?
Sweat.
Lost in the first playoff game. Yep. And I can't tell you. There was one season I was 6-1 in 17. I lost 3 straight and missed the playoffs. I lost my mind playing that game. I had to quit for like a good 2 months. It was that bad. And I had to wait till Madden 18 came out, which made it even worse because that's when they brought Weekend League in that shit. And that's when they made microtransactions. That's when
That's the downfall of Madden.
That's when it started. But 17 was the really beginning. But 16, it was evenly matched. You couldn't find anybody that was like a gap better team than you. I'll never forget playing, what was it? The Master Marcus Allen, I think it was. I lost the game, I think it was 3-0 or 6-3. Not mad. Not mad at all. Even, like, my team wasn't as good, but the gap was closer.
Yeah.
Now, the gap could be this, and you could be like here. The gap is widened, okay? And I just feel like that college football, everybody's like, oh, cut sucks and stuff. Bro, because guess what? Their ability system is actually better than Madden's. You guys just don't want to admit it because it's an even playing field. Look at Madden's abilities. They're all overpowered every single year. Last year was Phenom. The year before was Escape Artist. Okay? The year before that was the quad stack for quarterbacks, right? It was just like one step ahead, I think, in 21 in current gen, okay? Before that, it was Freight Train. Every year there's an OP ability in Madden that breaks the game. This game, there's good abilities, but they're not game-breaking like Madden's were. And you know this because you played it as well. We talk about it all the time. That's, I think, the difference, right? And I think that Dynasty has separated themselves by a wide margin. What's the next best Madden game mode besides Ultimate Team that you could think of? Franchise are trying to rebuild, but nobody talks about Madden franchise.
Not as good as Dynasty.
No way. So I think that with all that, and I'm saying people that play college Ultimate Team, give it time. All right? It's not great, but give it time. I have a good feeling because it's like the old days where they're trying to make it like to where based on the ability structure and based on the player structure, where I hate that they make the longevity of the game longer. I don't like it. I know what they're trying to do.
Yeah.
But I miss the old days of getting 94s and 93s day one of the game and having 99s first week of February till the end of the year. I miss that.
Yeah.
And it's like they got rid of it. So I just say to that, I say give it time. There's some old that I like. There is some new. I don't like that they still kept solo battles and the dailies. I get all that. Now they made what, not the gauntlet. Well, they have the gauntlet, but they have something where it's like champs mode.
Yeah.
I don't like that. They should have got rid of that. I know people would be like, why? Online rewards. Well, that's what killed the year to start.
Yeah.
Right? But I say this. It's good in a way they're focusing more on Dynasty, but how much is there really to focus on when you get to a certain point? And then you got, again, Ultimate Team. I don't want to give up on it yet. I know people despise that game mode. I don't blame you people that do. Me personally, I don't spend up money on packs at all on that game because I refuse to. But give it time. It's going to get really interesting later. I'm optimistic in that. And I think Dynasty, if you play that more, which I played more Dynasty than Cut, then we're in good shape. And that's all we can ask for as football fans. We just want a good game.
I think the last part I have to talk about is Road to Glory. Basically, like you make your own player.
Yes.
I think
it's a really good game mode.
It's a good game mode. It's just if you're not a 5 or 4 star, don't even play the game. If you're if you're trying to go in as an underdog 3, 2, 1 star, good luck. You're basically just playing college simulator at that point. You're just going to class.
Yeah.
If you have to start the game at a 5 star. If you don't start the game at a 5 star, by the time you're a senior, if you start as a 3 star, you're like an 83.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, that's not.
That's
really
the one thing that I don't like about it. It's like, what's the point of having star ratings if if you do like a 1-star, you're not playing.
Right.
You have to do a 5-star.
Yeah.
And that's it. Minimum. Or 4-star minimum.
Yeah, and for a while, until today's patch, actually, they made it to where you couldn't really audible quarterbacks.
No, you couldn't.
And the play calling was horrible. That's why I was a little like, I'm not really interested in playing.
Like, I remember I lost a bowl game because my coach kept running just run plays.
Yeah.
And I'm a quarterback. And literally, I just handed off. I think for 95% of the game, I just handed it off. And I threw 3 times, and it was stupid play action plays. And thanks, NCAA, because when you do a play action play, your pocket collapses instantly.
Yeah. So I just think, like I said, I do not like it at all, really, that game mode. I think it's definitely better than some of what Madden has to offer.
Yeah.
I'll say that. But I just think that, I think we finally have said, and I've talked about it a little bit on this show. I don't talk about it a lot because I don't like to get all upset about this game. But again, I like what I'm seeing. I think there's a couple things, like you said, too, that we agree on that need to be fixed. And again, I'm confident in this development team that they'll fix it. I just wish that if they could clean that up, man, you good luck. Because you ain't keeping that exclusive right tack much longer. All right? Now, people that want 2K, let me ask you, you happy with how NBA 2K is playing lately?
Don't even get me started.
Don't even get me started.
2K is a whole other section.
I know, it's bad. Okay, they already they got FIFA, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's painful for you. I'm not gonna go down this road because I mean, don't talk about 2K getting NFL unless you're gonna go back to 2K5 and bring that development team back. But the way 2K is with NBA, no. You ready for who I want? If Madden's gonna give up the license, you ready for who I want to get it?
What?
I want Sony to go get it. Cause look at MLB. Now, granted, I know that people are like all the set restrictions and stuff. You think they're gonna let that happen with Madden with the amount of football fans they have?
No.
They're not gonna let that happen. Okay. Sony actually produces a good game. Okay, they have great games. Now SDS is obviously the one that does MLB.
Yep.
I don't know if they would defer them to SDS.
Yeah.
I'm a little worried about. But I would, if you ask me, would I rather have Sony or 2K do the Madden licensing? Shit, I would rather have Sony do it, because Sony's proven that they can put good games out as opposed to 2K. 2K is falling off so drastically. I'll get Joey, who I had on last year, to talk about how bad 2K's fallen. Heck, I'll even bring in somebody I'm trying to get on, Louis Malib. I'm trying to get you on here, bro. You got to get on here. We got to talk about 2K, man. I'll bring Rabal back. We had Rabal 2 years ago. Rabal will tell you how bad 2K's fallen off, man. All right, but I might have somebody else do them the dirty work as far as let me know how 2K fell off. He might come later in the year. We're booking something end of December.
All right. Something's in the works.
Yeah, so we're working something out there. But overall, you actually like it and stuff. You think it's a game we all want, or you think it's
NCAA? Yeah, I think it definitely fulfilled a lot of people's needs. Right now, it's just people being picky and adding stuff. So
yeah,
I think base of it's way better than Madden.
Yeah,
gameplay feels so much better.
Yeah,
I like the customization with the uniforms. I really haven't played Ultimate Team yet.
That's
fine. As far as Dynasty is, I love Dynasty.
Yeah, I'm liking Dynasty way more than Cut right now. But I'm still giving Cut a chance because I'm like, I still think it's going to be good.
All right.
I still do. Vin, as always, thanks
for having me.
Yeah,
man, all right?
We're going to get you on later. I mean, I know baseball's about to close, but I don't want to spend time talking baseball. Football season's back.
Yes.
This is mostly a football show.
Yes.
But, all right, so here's how this is going to go. Next week, I will be talking Week 1 predictions. All right? I'm going to add some Survivor picks in there because I'm joining 2 Survivor pools this year. And I'm going to have the fantasy lineup in there that I'm going to be making. I'm going to be in the fantasy. I want you guys to rate my team. Please don't roast it so bad. I don't think it will be that bad. I'm usually good at drafting. But if you guys want to get all the latest Loungetime updates, make sure to follow the Loungetime channel, Rich Saile. Just type it in. You'll find the channel. You'll get all of our latest episodes from the 2022 season, the 2023 season, and the 2024 season. You can also follow me at Loungetime Pod on X. We're looking to build that account where, if you guys have questions that you guys want me to answer on the show, I'm more than happy to answer it, okay? Hey, give us more topics, the better. All right, we're going to have more guests coming up that way. And make sure you guys hit that subscribe and that notification bell so that way you guys can get all the latest updates for this season. We're going to have a lot of fun guests on this year, and we're going to have some great content going forward. As always, I'm Rich Saile. Thank you to my guest, Vinny Aslam, for joining on. And I will see you guys next week where we talk Week 1 predictions, Survivor, Fantasy. I'll see you guys next week.